The power of positivity. Our positive spirit is the adventure in us. It is the part of us that glimpses what we are capable of. Through learning how to think positively about our goals, and to act in our daily habits, we attract ourselves all the means which make our goals achievable. Here are the main ways you become more positive. Create a positive self-image. Your self-image is the person you think you are. You are your own creation. When your self-image is low, you attract into your life all the experiences and conditions that tell you how poor you are. Conversely, when your self-image is high, you attract experiences telling you how great you are. The easiest way to create the self-image you want is through your self-talk. Simply control the chatter in your head. Boost your morale regularly, morning, noon and night with what you tell yourself. What I am giving you is gold. Mothers, fathers, managers, bosses, superintendents, company presidents, everybody, heed this: you own self-esteem to where it belongs and good things will happen, both for you and others. How do you do that? You do it through your self-talk. From here forward, it is out of place in your life or your business to be devaluative, belittling, or sarcastic. Such junk has no place in a high-performance organization, just as it has no place in a high-performance individual. What you will do is start looking for ways to boost your morale with your self-talk. You are going to do it regularly. You are going every day, morning, noon and night. Louis Tice. Talk in terms of positive goals. Our brains need images of positive goals to work towards. They become confused if we feed them negative goals. So, if it is your aim to give up smoking, don't say, "I want to stop smoking." Instead say, "I want to enjoy a pleasant evening out with a couple of refreshing drinks, breathing in fresh, revitalizing, clean, pure, uncontaminated, healthy air." Have positive expectations. Numerous experiments confirm that when you expect the best, you usually get the best, and expect the worst, you usually get that too. His is known as the self-prophesying principle. So, at the start of any new enterprise or at the start of each new day, look forward with expectations of the very best. Look to this day. For it is life, the very life of life, in its brief course. Lie all the verities and realities of your existence. The bliss of growth. The glory of action. The splendor beauty. For yesterday is but a dream. And tomorrow is only a vision. But today well lived makes every yesterday a dream of happiness. And every tomorrow a vision of hope. Look well therefore to this day. Such is the salutation to the dawn. Kalidasa, Indian dramatist. Turn negatives into positives. Like the man who had too many lemons turned them into lemonade, or the man who bought snake-infested land and learned how to turn their skins into shoe leather, every seeming setback around and made into a triumph. This is what Teddy Roosevelt did in the following story. In 1912, just before the nomination of Teddy Roosevelt as resident candidate, it was discovered that no one had obtained permission to run off all 3 million pictures of Roosevelt and his running mate, Hiram Johnson. Legal penalties for the copyright violation could be as much as $3 million. But it was too late to turn back. The printing plates were ready. Any changes would cost millions. The chairman of the campaign committee decided to play a different tack and sent a telegram to the photographer saying, "Planning to use 3 million copies of the Roosevelt photo. Great publicity for you. What will you pay for us to use the photos?" "Appreciate the opportunity," replied the photographer. "Can only pay $250. The chairman replied, "Okay, deal. Always review positively. If we are positive at the start of an enterprise, we should be equally positive at the end when we review. Many people become discouraged when things don't go to plan and they beat themselves up for missing out on the thing that didn't work. But there are always gems of real worth in every situation, even apparent disasters, if we only look hard enough. One way to review positively is to use ignite phrases rather than chloroform phrases. So, an obstacle is not a barrier, but a challenge, a setback is not a disaster, but a chance to learn, and a tough problem is not a failure, but a nut we're going to crack. The story is told of an African king who grew up with a friend who had a very positive outlook on life. One day when they were both hunting, the king accidentally blew his finger off, to which the friend replied, "This is good. Annoyed with this remark, the king immediately dispatched his friend to jail. A year later, the king was out on another expedition when he was captured by cannibals. They put him in a pot and were about to eat him when they noticed his missing finger. Unable to eat anyone who wasn't whole, they let him go. Full of remorse, the king released his friend from jail and begged him for forgiveness for sending him to jail. "That's okay," said the friend. "Why?" replied the king. "Well, if I hadn't been in jail, you'd have had all your fingers. And I'd have been with you." Mix with positive people. One of the biggest drains on our enthusiasms is to be surrounded by people who are negative. They may be well-meaning with their warnings, but they are misguided. You have two choices if you want to survive as a positive person: avoid them or train them. One clever way to train negative people is to simply ignore them when they use discouraging conversation. Simply blank them. Then when they return to positive expression, reconnect. Very soon, they will learn that you are a person who has a sunny disposition, and they will simply drop their previously gloomy attitude with you. Alan Peace recalls how one of his colleagues, Alan, was conducting a seminar on communication. One student would make for him during each break and find any excuse to complain. He would complain about the rain, about his football team, about how he was being treated by his ex-wife, and so on and on. Alan decided that he would ignore every single negative comment. He just looked elsewhere, picked at his lunch, or read the newspaper. When, however, the odd positive comment cropped up, Alan's face would light up and he would engage in normal conversation. After using this technique for a while, the student started to communicate good-naturedly, with reverting back to pessimism with everyone else. Use positivity for good health. Emile Coué, the founder of autosuggestion, carried out a number of studies that proved that positive can cure both mental and physical pain. George Gallup, in his study of old age, also found that a positive attitude was one of the key ingredients of long living. More recent studies have shown that brain cells actually shrivel up and die under the effect of negative thinking, while positive thinking actually changes the composition of body cells for the better, which all goes to show that positivity is better than any medicine you could buy from the chemist's store. Get the positivity habit. Good habits are as easy to make as bad ones. It's simply a matter of choice and repetition. So, if you want the positivity in your life, do these things every day. Dress the best you can. Smile more. Try to genuinely like others. Give people positive strokes of recognition. Give people the most precious you have, more of your time. When you meet a stranger, be the first to shake hands. Be interested in the world around you. Be thankful for everything you get. Positivity is not a Pollyannish rose-tinted view of things which ignores reality, but a choice we make about thinking, acting and speaking which creates reality. It has the power of magic. Summary. 1. Positive ways of thinking do not distort reality but rather make choices in how we see and interpret reality. 2. All lasting change about ourselves starts with the way we think and then moves to the outside. 3. It is the imagined self-image that determines the way we feel about ourselves, not the actual way we are. 4. High-performance individuals and teams never devalue themselves in their self-talk. 5. The brain cannot work towards achieving a negative goal. When you expect the best, you usually get them. When you expect the worst, you usually get that too. Further support. At Talent and Skills Hub, you can be supported by our instructors, counselors and mentors on personal and professional development. You can book an appointment for one-to-one or group tutoring through our website, ts-hub.com. Reference and further reading. Garner, E. 2012, Maximizing Your Potential. Be All You Can Be. Ebook, Eric Garner and bookboon.com.